Hey, it's Pete with F Body Warehouse, and we're working on our 1984 Camaro Z28 today. And what we've done, we've gone through, we've done all the weather seals. But one thing we noticed is our door panels on this car were a nightmare mess. So, a lot of times your door panels may not be all that bad, but there's definitely a flaw in how they're designed. Here's the door panels that we got with this car. And this is the passenger side door panel. And up here where the upper connects, the plastic top run, okay, to the lower door panel, we have some serious issues going on. So you can see someone's gone through and done a nice homemade mend on this, and they installed a bunch of duct tape. And if you look here, you can see the reason why. They didn't know how to properly separate them, so what they did is they just ripped them off, ripping this off from this and tearing that cardboard. So we'll finish up their job here, tear off this wonderful duct tape, and take a look at what we really have as far as a mess. Now, how this holds into place is by a series of studs right here. Sit over the door card, and then these small tabs stuck on. Well, when they ripped it, what they did is instead of pulling the door panel off properly, they went and just went like that and ripped all these out. So that leaves us in a little jam. What do we do here? Well, what we're going to do is we are going to repair these, and we're going to show you how to do this at home. Looking at the other side of this door panel, boy, this isn't a bad door panel. It's a little dirty, but outside of being dirty, there's nothing wrong with it. So why buy a brand new one if we can repair what we have currently? I brainstormed a bunch of different ways to do this, and what I came up with is the door panel is cardboard to begin with. So let's find a nice, durable, heavy cardboard that we can replace that with, glue it onto the back side of this, punch new holes for our studs, and then reattach the top. Now while we have this off, we ran into another issue. And that is the factory popper rivets that hold the inner weather seal onto the door had all broken off and come loose. So we're going to get our handy dandy rivet gun real quick. We're going to run some rivets in there and show you how to re-rivet this as well. So first things first, if you're going to use cardboard to repair this door panel, and you could use a plastic, could even use a metal if you wanted to. In our case, we're doing this economically. It's a good way for folks at home to do it too. What you got to know is there are different grades of cardboard. There is cheap cardboard, and how you can tell is the corrugation through here. You see that's rather widely spaced. Now compare that to the second one, and you can see the second one has a much higher count on the corrugation. This makes for stronger cardboard. We're not going to be able to use a cardboard that you can just bend right up. We don't want to use that, because if we use that, it's going to be flimsy. So what we did here is we found a nice heavier gauge cardboard, and we tested it, and sure enough, you can punch a hole in it with just a regular hole punching hole. So what we're going to do, we're going to measure our length. I'm going to cut this to fit, and then what we're going to do is line up on this our holes and punch out new holes. Take your door panel, lay it on top, and take the magic Sharpie out here. We're going to bring this panel down to about, we'll go to about here. Okay? Also what I'll do is I will notch out these inners. That way we can trim it up how we want it so that it has these cutouts in there as well. Be careful using a razor blade at home. And we're going to go right here. And we're just going to slice straight down the seam. Try to keep it pretty even. what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish trimming this out. I'm going to trim out this, and this was the inner door handle area. I'm going to trim that out so that when we lay this on top, those holes are where they properly need to be. I'm also going to trim this out. Once I have this all trimmed out, we'll come back and then I'll show you how to put the holes into it. We'll go from there. Okay, so we trim this out. Here's our piece here. Cut a little hole so it sits on this back plastic nylon tab, and it runs right across the top. So we're going to mark our spots for where this attaches, okay? And then we'll put in our new holes. Now, one thing that's important here, we said earlier we need to replace these pop rivets real quick, so that's what we're going to go ahead and do next. So now, if you at home, if these were destroyed, you would want to replace them. And so what we're doing is showing you how to do it. Basically, all your holes, what we did, we put some extra holes in. And on the inner felts, what we did is we drilled, just with a drill, drilled out some holes. We have some pop rivets here. We'll slide the new pop rivet in. You want to make sure that the weather seal is lined up nice and tight. There we go, nice and tight in. I'm going to follow this down. We'll go ahead and add some more. Yeah, that one hit perfect. Now for this final one, we have some plastic ones. We'll show you how to use those too. Okay, so what I've done, I've laid a bunch of adhesive on the old panel. Now I'm smoothing this in, nice and smooth here, so it bonds real good. What we'll do, we'll give it a few minutes to set up. And then what we'll do is we'll mark our holes on the other side once this is glued down and bonded real nice. And then once we have our holes, we'll lay this back and into place on top here. And then we'll punch it through, and then we'll take our fasteners and we'll re-secure our fasteners down. What I've done, flip the unit over where the tore out holes were, took my magic Sharpie, drawing a little circle in each one. This is going to be our guide holes for the studs. Look like little eyeballs looking at you. Okay. Using a pick, we're going to poke a hole right in the center. You can tell it's a good quality cardboard that we're using because it's not the easiest thing to use a pick on it. Okay, we've used our pick. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a bigger headed screwdriver, preferably a Phillips head. Then we're going to go through and pop it through with a Phillips head. And what this does is it enlarges that hole. Now you'll notice when I put my fingers underneath, I'm supporting the back side so that it doesn't rip that top tab out. Because that's what was ripped on these. Now, come over here, we're going to do our first test fit. So we'll line up to the first hole. And what you're going to find is these are not dead on. They're pretty close, but they're not dead on. So what we'll do, we're going to try to squeeze them all in for the most part. And then we're going to take our razor blade back here, and instead of cutting up and down, we'll cut across. That'll give us a little adjustment room. And you want to do it until you have it so you can see that stud in there. Right here we have our stud. You can see it right there. We're going to do that with all of these until they're lined up. So we can see that hole there now. The stud coming through the cardboard. What I've done, I've taken a real small socket. And I'm just using a hammer real lightly. I'm not pounding on it, but what I'm doing is I'm pushing down the sides. Because when we go to put this unit back on, we've got to be able to get it down and in. And take it on your fingertips with your thumbs and push down and turn. And there you go. That's back on. So we're going to go through, and every so often what you want to do as you're doing these, is you want to make sure that you lined up to your old lines real nice all the way across. Push it on with your thumbs. Move on to the next one. And like I said, just continue to flip your panel over and make sure that it's sitting nice and even and straight. Okay, we were lucky. We only had one broken stud on this one. And I've got them all pushed in. You get an idea of what it looks like. I'm pushing down on this front one. And voila. Now, look at that. That is on there. It's not going anywhere. Cardboard's on. We're about ready to put this door panel back on. So what we're going to do, we're going to use one of the F-Body Warehouse replacement door panel install kits. And we have these for 82 through 92 Camaro and Trans Am models. What it is going to be all kinds of replacement clips and fasteners for your doors. And why that's important, see how it has the teeth on it? Once you pull this door panel off the car, these clips are 30 years old, so these teeth are going to strip out. So we're going to pull all these off. What we're going to be doing is replacing them with ones from our panel kits. And what you do, you just take it with the very bottom, you're going to thread it in, turn, and it's in. So we're going to go through, we're going to replace all these all the way across, and then we'll be ready to install the door panel back onto the car. FBodyWarehouse.com is known for is our interior mounting screw kits and our various fastener kits and hardware kits for your cars. So on these, instead of using our old wore out nylon clips, we're going to be putting in new replacements. Now these replacement clips are part of a bigger package, and that bigger package, what it does is includes everything you're going to need for your door panels. So now that we have the old ones off, we're going to put the new ones in. It's going to have nice new threads. These are going to pop and hold into the door really good, and it'll make the door sit nice and flush. A lot of times with these you can't reuse those, and so this is a great way to get all your fasteners back to day one, I guess is the best way to put it. Installing these is easy. They're the correct 3-tier clip, just like your GM, so you just feed an edge of the pie wedge in, like so, and then just turn it into place. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to finish mounting these on, and then we'll go ahead and we're going to put this door panel right back onto the car. Now these screws will be included also in your door panel mounting kit from F-Body Warehouse. Also these individual fasteners over here going to be included in that. You'll get all your nylon clips. You're going to get these back washers for the upper to lower door panel, and then you're also going to get your window crank U-clip that holds the window crank on, and that's for use on all manual window cars. Alright, we are all back together. Oh. Got our new seals in, outer window sweeps on. Car is now good to go. We've replaced our door panel. Got my door locked. I guess I gotta unlock it, huh? We've repaired our door panel here so it's not all floppy. When we first pulled this off, it was kind of dangling. Now we got it repaired, it's going to last another 20 years. As always, at fbodywarehouse.com, we sell the parts you need for your second and third generation Camaro and Trans Ams. We also have all these videos, and these videos can be found at YouTube, username fbodywarehouse1. Remember, shipping is included in all of our pricing, and as you're working on your car, that's why we do these videos, to help you be able to do these products yourself. As always, we do appreciate you and look forward to working with you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is fbodywarehouse1.